Everybody, it's me, Andrew, and this is going to be your weekly reading for September 14th through the 20th. Now, I did have this reading pre-recorded, but I was told to kind of revamp it because I did forget to mention that we have Mercury retrograde coming up on the 17th of this week. So it starts September 17th and it ends October 9th. We're in the shadow of it now, and there's a little bit of a shadow after. And with Mercury retrograde, there is a deck that I love working with when it's Mercury retrograde, and that is the Le Vampire Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And the reason that I love this deck so much is because it deals with those deep, dark places within us that we may not want to recognize or that we may not want to go to. And Mercury retrograde is a time of reflection and realizing how we can better ourselves and things along those lines. So, and I'm sorry if I seem exhausted. It's because I am. I'm super tired. But I will trudge through this reading, and sometimes doing reading sleepy is the best way to do it because you get more information and you don't necessarily filter it. So, let's see, that's the beginning of the week, and they're just saying draw from the top. So, okay. Draw from the top, beginning, middle, end, and I have one more. Alright. So, for Monday and Tuesday, we have pray. And the keywords are stalked, invaded, and watched. So what this is saying, this is really interesting because the first thing they told me was that in this particular card, this is your ego. This is your negative, the negative side of ourselves. This is the side of ourselves that we don't like to acknowledge. And so what they're showing me actually is, okay, so not acknowledging the shadow side of ourselves honestly is a detriment to us because we live only in the side of the light, not recognizing that we have things that, or knowing we have things wrong with us, but not wanting to work on them because it's hard. It's hard to work on things that we don't like about ourselves. So what they kind of showed me is like a gazelle and like a lion, and how the lion is like all like kind of walking towards the gazelle, like creeping towards him. It'd be like the gazelle looking at him and being like, I'll deal with that later. And then it comes and, murders him. That's what this is like. So they're saying that there is a lot of work that we need to do as far as not just saying, okay, yeah, I have this that I don't like that I do. It's saying, no, you're going to have to work on it. Or like if you don't work on it, it's going to destroy you. It's going to claw into you, and it's going to bring you down. It's going to bring your vibrations down, your energy levels down. So the beginning of the week, we're starting pretty heavy with finding out about ourselves a little bit, and realizing that we have a lot of work to do within ourselves, kind of preparing ourselves for this Mercury retrograde. They're telling me make a list of things you'd like to change about yourself. Spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, that kind of stuff. So the next card, and there's baby girl. No, man. The next card is that death will come, mortal, finite, and fragile. So this actually goes perfectly because when you start acknowledging the things about yourself that you don't like, that you want to change to better yourself, it's almost like a form of death to those things that you don't like about yourself, that you're acknowledging, that you're bringing out of the shadows, looking into it in an objective light, and being like, I don't like this about myself. This needs to change about myself, and I am going to change it. That starts the process of that thing's death. That thought process, that that thought process, the way you speak, maybe the things you eat, things you say, things you drink, whatever whatever you're being like guided to change. Acknowledging it is that first step. Kind of like acknowledging you have a drinking problem if you're an alcoholic. But it's saying that once you acknowledge that, it loses its power. It loses all of its power and it starts to die and it starts to wither the more that you work on getting rid of it. So how do you work on getting rid of something that is so ingrained in you? You do the opposite of that. Every time you want to do that, do the opposite. If you're thinking negative thoughts or saying negative things, speak positive things, think positive things. And that's going to help. That's going to help a lot. They actually told me in my car on the way upstairs, or not, I wasn't in my car on the way upstairs. I was in my car, I got out of my car, and then I was walking up my stairs. That affirmations are going to be huge this week and for the rest of Mercury retrograde. So affirmations. Start them now, because Mercury retrograde is not a time to begin things. It's a time to carry on things, to see things through, to finish projects. So start them before Mercury retrograde actually begins. All right. So for the weekend, we have listen to advice, think clearly, intellect, it's reason. So what this is saying is, when you begin to recognize those things about yourself that you don't like, they begin to die, leaving way for you to think clearly. They begin making way for you to look at things objectively and not in the light, or not in the filter, I guess, or the lens of what you're trying to get rid of. So instead of looking at stuff through the lens of being negative, you look at it as, what can I learn from this situation? What can I absorb from this situation to use in my everyday life to make sure that this particular part of myself that I don't want never comes back? So that's really good. This is so perfect. My cat's going crazy. So, and then the card that they wanted me to pull for the end, card number 27, Ecstasy, Yielding, Rapture, and Bliss. So what they're saying is, don't worry. This is a hard process. It's a very hard thing to look at yourself and number one, know that you need to change, and number two, actually will go carrying through with the act of needing to change. Mercury retrograde is a pretty powerful time, and the last Mercury retrograde, I think, it was either the last one or the one before, I really got a lot of inner work done because I really took inventory of myself and what I was feeling and what I was going through at the time, and it really did help me a lot. So I know that Mercury retrograde is a scary concept. I know that we're all like, oh my god, no. But it's all what you use it for. It's all intention. If you set your intentions to use it to benefit yourself, you're going to be benefited from it. You're going to be you're going to allow the energy to heal you. So it's really awesome that we actually had this Mercury retrograde, and I'm looking forward to it. And if you're watching this and you're not, and it's past Sunday, I'm in Disney World. So I will be in Disney World, and I am absolutely going to be loving every minute of it. I'm needing such a break. It's ridiculous, guys. Like, I have been running myself ragged. So I'm very much in need of nice relaxation time, and so I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope that this reading really helped you out. I hope that this gave you the motivation that you need. And like I said, the end card is bliss, so don't worry about how things might seem. Don't worry about how things might look, because at the end, you're going to have tons of happiness and bliss from getting rid of these things that you no longer desire in your life. So if you would like a reading with me, you can check out my website below at www.tarotangel444.com. You can check out my Instagram. My username is tarotangel444. And my Facebook page is facebook.com/AndrewsAngelCards. I love you guys, and I will see you later. Angel blessings. Bye.